good afternoon to you. Thank you for staying tuned. A lot of grounds to cover, right? Because we have not really had great conversations. You and I, that is. Of course, you've had conversations with all the presenters, and you must have been enjoying the debate. Well, you and I, we've not really talked in days, and we have a lot of grounds to cover. For those of you who are just joining, I'm going to welcome you. You're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kaladako Rubatibor. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. We're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. All right. It's time for a conversation. Something happened in the course of the week, or was it over the weekend? The other weekend, and I don't think much was said about it, and so I would like to bring it to the fore. Now, on Monday, we told you that the police, I think it was on Saturday, named 40-year-old Priye Josiah alias Metusa as the suspect behind the June the 25th dynamite explosion near Hotel Presidential in Port Harcourt. The statement by the spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Ringekoko, said the arrested suspect, who is from Bayelsa State, underwent 3 major surgeries and is fully recovered. I wouldn't say fully, but I'm going to use what they use. Recovered from the injuries he sustained from the dynamite explosion. You would recall that in an attempt to throw the dynamite, he wounded himself, and the wound affected the upper arm of his body. How did I say it now? Is it the upper arm? I think that's for those of you who are in the health sector, you can help me with the description there. But yeah, it affected the upper body of Priye. That's if indeed he is the one, according to the police report. The statement said efforts are still ongoing to arrest others involved in the crime. It also said the suspect has been on the police wanted list for participating in some high-profile bank robberies. On the second dynamite explosion at the Secretariat of the Action People's Party, APP, along the GRA axis of Port Harcourt last Monday, the police said no life was lost, but damage was done to the front of the building. The statement said samples from the site of the explosion have been taken for further forensic investigation. The police, however, urged members of the public to be vigilant when cases of explosion occur and to steer clear of the vicinity, as there is a tendency of another device being present. A lot of talking points as it relates to this. I want to take your mind back to 2023. There were reports of explosions in several parts of Rivers State. Should I focus just on the Port Harcourt metropolis? Just before the election. As a matter of fact, I still have a video of one person who was shot when he went to the GRA axis to, detonate a dynamite explosive, a bomb. I think he died, if my memory reminds me, or if my memory serves me correctly. And we did not really get to the conclusion, in terms of police investigation to those matters. Or maybe they were concluded, but it was not brought to the public fore. The public did not get to know about it, basically. Now the police has come out to say Priye Josiah is the suspect, is allegedly the culprit. However, there are other things that they are attaching, I beg your pardon, to Priye, and they're saying he's a armed robber. They're saying is been a security threat in the state for so long. And my first question is, why is it taking so long, to find out who his accomplices are. Why is he taking so long, to find out who is likely sponsoring the armed robbery gang? What has armed robbery got to do with detonating a dynamite explosive? These are some of the questions in my head I'd like to share with you. Some notable Rivers people, even the governor at one time, called out the police saying, hey, what's happening to this case? Why are we not getting to hear anything as it relates to the, dynamite explosive that was detonated or almost detonated near the Hotel Presidential or the Hotel Presidential area? Why are we not getting to hear anything? Some people have even said, the police is biased as it relates to this very issue. Some people are alleging that the sponsors belong to XYZ, and we're not going to do that on the show. Remember, we don't accuse people, we stay on issues. The police is saddled with a responsibility to protect you and I, to protect lives and properties, and also ensure that our human rights are not eroded, not taken away. So the question then is, or the question shouldn't be if the police is biased or not. The question should be, how can the police tackle this situation better so that we can arrive at a concrete conclusion to ensure, I tell you. Now, we all know there is a political battle in the state. And I remember at some point I had told you that this political battle can take the violent shape, can take the aggressive form. And it almost did. Some people called for the state of emergency. We saw, I forgot to mention the dynamite that was used to, destroy the aloe chamber of the House of Assembly. So it is now becoming a trend. And this is what I know. If it is not nipped at this point, there is the possibility that this could become a weapon in fighting political battles in the state. So the police would have to do the needful. But how should, in your opinion, I know you're not a security expert, but in your opinion, because the police has been funded with taxpayers' money, and I want to believe you pay your taxes. Now, was it yesterday? Was it the day before? We saw a report that the governor may likely bring back the neighborhood watch. Now, some people are insinuating it might have the political undertone and all of that. But then some are arguing that it is necessary because it is most likely the police is failing in its responsibilities in terms of securing River State. So how can the police do better? And I don't want you to politicize it. I want you to follow, the questions I'm throwing out there. I don't want you to politicize the conversation or tell me what I've heard before, which is, the police is biased, or no, the police is not biased. That's not my conversation. How do you think the police can go about this case? And this is not a case we want to be swept under the carpet, by the way. How do you think the police can go about this case to ensure that indeed, number one, Priye Josiah is the right person and that they have enough evidence? Because, of course, it's a system thing. We see security agencies take people to court, agencies like the EFCC, they take people to court without proper investigation, and then they go to court and they lose in court. So how do we make sure that one is the right person, two, there are enough evidence, and three, there's usually a sponsor. There's usually accomplices. Maybe in situations where there are no sponsors, they are accomplices. People who perpetrate the crime together with Priya Josiah. How do we ensure that we get these people as well? What was the motive? These are some of the things. So how do we, the police work for us? How do we get them? It's just like an advice, a piece of advice. How do we, and more particularly for me, and what I'm more concerned about is, how do we ensure that our institutions are way stronger than certain notable or prominent politicians? In this situation, what do you think the police should be doing to ensure that this matter is brought to a concrete conclusion? 19 minutes gone past 4 p.m. It's been a difficult one, and I guess I need to learn presentation all over again. I'm just joking. But let's get your thoughts. I'm going to open the phone lines early. I want to talk with you. I want to get your thoughts, basically. What do you make of this situation? What do you make of this situation, right? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. There is 0817-923-0007. I've got WhatsApp for WhatsApp messages, 0809 0306416. Let's get, police identify bomber in River State. What do you make of it? It took this long. Should we be getting more details as to, where the case is right now? What do you think the police should be doing? That's like my key question on the show this afternoon. I'm very much and everybody should be concerned. Upper limbs. Yeah, someone said upper limbs. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Upper limbs. Thank you very much. That's on WhatsApp, by the way. So I'd like to get your thoughts. I wonder why the calls keep dropping, so I'm going to take the call myself. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon.
Good evening.
What's your name, please? Sorry? All right, welcome. Let's get your thoughts now. All right, I guess we are having network issues.
Hello?
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, my name is Susie. I'm calling from Rema Community.
All right, Susie, welcome.
Yeah, Canada, for me, it is very simple. In as much as we're not going to involve a political procession in this particular conversation, I want to say that the police would have also been involved with the Ministry of Orientation to re-engineer our people. First, there is actually a cost to the political crisis in River State, and then getting the political actors and having the understanding of what the cost is all about. Some of the things you are seeing now is just a spillover and a reflex of that particular cost. So if the political actors, hello?
I'm listening to you.
Could also do well to retreat from statements, insults, incitement, statements, inciting statements, and all of that. And we kind of reclaim ourselves from issues concerning bringing a third party to incite people from different angles. It will be better for us. And what the police could also do is also to start a sensitization, not a reactionary method.
I get Susie, I get where you're going with that orientation and all. Yeah. Very critical, I agree. But I want us to look at this crime has already been perpetrated. It's illegal to have an explosive or be in possession of an explosive. And it is even more illegal to try to detonating that explosive. So, how do we ensure that this is what the carpet?
And we are by donating a dynamite
Exactly my point.
and has been arrested. To this sent by one or two persons. And reference has been made all about and speculations and all of this. Hello?
I'm listening. Summarize, please.
Hello?
All right. Where you are is actually noisy, but this one is from Okwando Obina. It says, my worry is that the whole issue. Okay, my worry over the whole issue is that I doubt the sincerity of the Nigeria police, Rivers State Command. How are we sure the accused is the right person that committed the crime? I'm not just trusting the police, Okwando Obina. All right. Remember, there was someone who was apprehended at the what's it called now? River State University Teaching Hospital, and I guess that's the person. All right. Several messages saying upper limb. Thank you very much for that. You know, sometimes you forget these things. I do have a commercial coming up. After the commercial, I would be right back, and you and I will talk some more. But really, I'm very much concerned. How do we ensure that situations like this, the law takes its course and it is not politicized? The corporate is made to face the wrath of the law as a deterrent to other people who think it is okay to throw dynamite. And like I said, since last year, the number of dynamite that have been detonated have been scary. The numbers have really increased in the last 1 year. So let's get talking. I'd like to hear from you.
The show continues.
Minutes gone past 4 p.m. Let's get talking, you and I, as it relates to, the attempt to detonate, or did he detonate? I can't remember how the story went anymore, but yeah, you remember the story, right? how do you think that investigation should be carried out by the police? And it's the citizens' duty to ensure that this matter, this investigation is brought to, I'm using concrete for emphasis, to a concrete conclusion. Anyways, if you're just joining us, you're welcome. You're listening to Hard Facts in 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am yours truly, Kaladako Rubataba. Good afternoon. Yeah, so the phone lines are open, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. For WhatsApp, use the number 0809-030-6416. And it is very instrumental that this conversation brings about solution. It's very important, rather, I should have said, because the local government elections are nigh. 5th October 2024. And given the tendency that things can get aggressive, we need to come or arrive to a conclusion as it relates to this matter. We need to get to the bottom of it. Who are the sponsors? Are they sponsors? Who are the people who are accomplices, to, armed robber, detonating a bomb? What is the motive? These are some of the questions. I've got God's time from Onelga. God's time, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, Canada, good evening at this afternoon.
I love the above. Welcome.
You see, the issue I have with Nigeria police, most especially River State Command, is that I think they have heard so many cases with glove hands. Most especially the bombing of River State House of Assembly. See, today, we've not been able to apprehend anybody.
True.
Everybody tends to be alleged. When are they going to get the culprit of that particular thing, of that particular action? They burnt our River State House of Assembly, our hard-earned resources, the taxpayers' money, and up to this moment, nothing has been done. And now the police said they have just apprehended the person who detonated the dynamite. And the question I want to ask, is he actually the person? Was he sponsored? Or was he orchestrated by certain elements? I think they should spring into investigation, make sure they get these people apprehended, so that we wouldn't be encouraging crime in the society. Now, let's ask, what about if those people were criminals? Now, police is saying he has been disturbing the state. Why hadn't he been apprehended long before now? Why this moment?
It was on the wanted list, according to them. Susie has had his time. I wonder why he's calling. Okay, all right, Susie, thank you. This one says MPF should have paraded the suspect just as they normally do. Anyways, this is a sensitive issue. Let me stop here. Clef Austin. Clef, we've talked about parading suspects, and I hear it's illegal because everybody is deemed innocent until proven guilty. This one says this is good, but it didn't come when expected. And for how long is the investigation? Elder Madi Samuel. This one says act of terrorism, act of manslaughter, act of criminality, and how we police charging without being biased or political, I think he meant to say. This is not a case that should be swept under the carpet as it looks likely by the Nigeria police. Michael Newmold. I've got Michael from Okrika. Michael, welcome. Oh, is it Muriel? Muriel from Okrika, I beg your pardon. Muriel, welcome.
Thank you, KDB.
Yeah.
Look, KDB, up to now, I've not recovered from the abracadabra the police did with the murder of the late DPO. Honestly, I've not recovered from it. Up to now, I've not.
They have apprehended late General. Did they apprehend? They killed him. Yeah, they killed him.
They shot him from a distance, and all of a sudden they didn't go close to get it so that we can see his face. And now so many. Look, KDB. The police in Nigeria in general, if it's only me, JDB, I will not put my brake lights. I will not even what.
No, we're not. Meryl, the idea of the conversation is not to criticize the police, so to say. It's to, talk about ways so that we can enhance the police as it relates to this matter.
Kennedy, what do you expect us to do? Now they know who the suspect is. Look, Kennedy, we just watched, we just heard the suspected shooter of Donald Trump. Immediately, they show the face. Immediately, you see that everything leading to everything they just brought it out clear. But it is different, a different scenario. What do you expect we? Was it the people that did it? Was it not the police? Was it not the security officials that showed the face? Show us his face, who he is. You don't tell us his name. You don't join before you know one or two stories. Before you know nothing again. Before you know, he tells us that he has been killed. One or two stories. Look at it. The broadcast that the police is saying later it will backfire, and it will affect them too.
All right. Thank you very much.
I have nothing to say because we have nothing to do.
All right. No, I'm not. Anyways, Meryl, thank you very much. I've not actually do anything. We're talking about enhancing institutions against, prominent individuals in the country. Welcome on the show today from Burukiri. Let's get your thoughts.
From what you said, I won't say much. I think the game behind all this is that you will end up to hear that guy was on a robbery mission. That is where I think they want to just push the whole thing to sway it from what it actually is.
Okay.
So if it's now we are hearing he has been on the wanted list of armed robbery, they want to push that in that way to kill the main thing. And before we know it, our eyes and minds are out. That is what I feel. Thank you.
So how do we, Tunde, before you go, how do we ensure it doesn't get to that point? What can we do to ensure the matter reaches a very favorable conclusion?
For now, there's nothing we can do. Nigeria is in the hands of certain funny people.
Tunde, the police works for you. The police is paid by you. The police is think about it from any angle you want to think about it. You are somewhat in charge of the police.
I know, which is the reality.
Okay.
Is that thing will be swept under the carpet as far as politics is concerned and the people living in the country presently. If we are now in a situation where anything goes, it's no more about, okay, what should be, what is normal. Nothing is normal now. As you can see, everything is abnormal in Nigeria. People do things that you never thought would ever happen in this country, and nothing happens. So for now, as long as that thing has political undertone, forget it.
All right, you think it has political undertone. I've got JJ from Port Harcourt Township. JJ, welcome on the show.
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon or evening.
Good afternoon to you, JJ.
Kalada, this guy we're talking about right now, do you know how he was caught?
Of course, we saw the news. We read the stories. The minister, the commissioner for health,
was broken by who?
The commissioner for health.
Did you follow up and know that it was the commissioner for health that instructed hospitals that if such patient come, please, this is what you do. The police didn't make any statement in that regard. So that person was brought to that facility and was held down, and the police was invited. What about those ones that the state government didn't
JJ.
I'm listening. I'm here for conversation.
That's what we're trying to have. You know what the law says? Innocent until proven guilty. Could it be? I know. Could it be? The person apprehended was not even the real person, and that's why investigation must happen, right? Could it be?
You know this story. This what our people will say that winch gather for night and Pekin die for morning. That we heard that there was an explosion, and you also heard that the person who tried to detonate that explosion had his hand injured, and after some time, that same person with hand injury was brought into a facility after they have sent signal to all the hospitals without us knowing, and at the end of the day, somebody appear and you're still looking for who is responsible.
All right.
We are discussing.
And I'm asking. I asked a question. You answer.
So, I don't think there's another person out there. And the police has also confirmed that this is the person,
Okay.
that the suspect that is responsible for this, and he will be taken to court at the end of the day. Now, the question is, how far have the guy been interrogated? Because the reluctance of the police before now shows a lot of concern. There was what they call tear gassing of women and children that went for antenatal who have been arrested. There was also tear gassing and water cannon.
Once again, JJ, I'm
Yes,
not
I'm
yet to
listening.
look at the flaws of the police. I want better policing in River State, and that's why I'm talking
Okay,
about
what
this.
about the Eshe incident where people's property were burnt by hoodlums?
Once again, I'm not. I mean,
Has any arrest been made?
there is no perfect police system in the world. Just so you know.
I will conclude by telling you that if not that the Rivers State government arrested this person would have been walking free on the street.
All right.
Just like that.
All right then. JJ, thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your thoughts today. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome.
Yeah, Canada, good evening to you.
Greetings. Welcome.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nigeria is a country where we have certain individuals that are stronger than the institutions we have.
And that's why I'm
This
asking
whole
how
matter,
I'm asking how do we strengthen the institutions then?
It's good. The politicians, for me, the executive, should free their hands from the police. They should remove their hands because, for me, they are influencing them. If the police is actually independent and they are carrying out their professional duties, I believe crime will reduce to the bare minimum. Just this year, Canada, we've had situations where the House of Assembly has been bombarded with explosives. Someone released explosive there, and yet nothing has been done about it. Now this man has been apprehended. I hope that he faces the full wrath of the law, and without any undue interference from anybody. There are accomplices. He should be able to name those that sent him. Because we are not getting political data with this. Police is now saying criminal something. All these things is what we are having as issues in this country. If these issues are addressed, I believe the police will be able to discharge their duties professionally. That's what we want as Nigerians. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Christian who's calling me from Bonny Island. Christian, welcome. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Look, the best thing for the layman, anybody, to do about this issue is to question that boy, the soul boy, the person that detonated the grenade. Yes, that is in the police custody, that got injured. Who sent him? And you should be able to mention those people that sent him. And they will arrest those that sent him. And they will make sure those people that sent him, how did they get this into Nigeria? And what is their work? What are they? Who are they? And they make sure they face the law. They face the penalty. Because look at the truth is that criminal or criminality is advancing in Nigeria. And don't forget, we don't equip our police very well. We are advancing every day. The police has to be on their toes and begin to see how they can corner and put, you understand, their system or whatever they are policing, into perfection. You understand? We should have a very good police that is working. Nigerians are advancing every day. So the police too have to keep on advancing, improving too.
I agree with you.
That is the only way we can make a headway as a nation. It's very important. Those who sent him should be apprehended and make sure that whoever they are, that's the only way we can build a better nation for ourselves, for God's sake.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Christian. And Christian has a great perspective as it relates to this conversation. And I'll tell you why I say so. So, indeed, crime is evolving in Nigeria. And it is time that we look at very creative ways to apprehending those behind the scenes, ensuring that crime, evolves and gets to a stage that it becomes too difficult to control. What am I saying? Maybe we can strike a deal with this Priye Josiah, assuming he is indeed the person who detonated the bomb. We could say, okay, instead of going for 20 years or life imprisonment or the what do you call it now, life sentencing and all of that, we could say, okay, we give you a reduced sentencing. You could go for 5 years or 6 years with hard labor or whatever they call it. Just give me names. Or we would ensure that when you come out, you have XYZ amount of money. Just give me names. Don't you think that will work? Just to ensure that we stop the trend. Like I said, I think it was a radio station. Then there was the residence of a politician where dynamites were used just before the election in 2023. Then in 2023, we saw the destruction of the hallowed chamber of the House of Assembly. All right. And then we saw another dynamite used near Hotel Presidential. And just last week, was it last week? I think it was. APP had its secretariat destroyed as a result of a bomb. It's becoming a trend, I think. All right, so I've got Edward from Andoni, I believe. Is he Andoni? Yeah, I think so. So welcome.
Hey, Canada. Good evening.
Yeah, quickly, please. Let's get your thoughts.
Okay, I'm calling from Andoni by Edward.
All right, then.
About this Priye that has been apprehended, Priye Joshua, that has been apprehended by River Police Command. Please, I want to ask, because Nigeria has gone to the extent whereby if you did not carry arms, you can't be able to eat. How can a Bayelsa who is from Bayelsa enter into River State and be terrorizing, kidnapping? I read no story about what this Priye is doing. Priye said he was declared wanted. So now that he's been apprehended, they should investigate him well and know who are his sponsors. And after investigating him well, they should, if there is any other way that it will serve as a deterrent to others, so that crime rates will reduce in River here. Just imagine as of inside last week, an APP secretary in person was born. And we do not know who have done that.
All right. So
please, they should investigate him well and find out who are his sponsors. So everything that is in River State here.
All right, Edward, thank you very much. I've got to move on now. I've got Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. Real Gift, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, good afternoon, Real Gift.
Thank you very much. I remember vividly I've told you only those who walk during the night understand the laws of the Spirit.
Okay.
And so, investigation here is of essence. But the thing is this, you said we should not look at the odds against the police force.
No, I'm not focused on that.
Now, do they have sincerity of purpose when they carry out investigations on political issues? Because don't forget, this one is political because this bomb, is it dynamite or
it's all a
bomb. Close where there was a political protection taking place, is it not? So I tell you that there is no way you will divorce it. You can king of the street from out, but the two are not the same. In this case, for me, the area caller said swept under the carpet 3 days again. As far as I'm concerned, I will not get the exact truth. And let me ask you a question, Chief K. At what point was this particular guy, this Priye guy, declared wanted by the Nigerian police force? Is it in River State Command or Bayelsa? We've heard about him being declared wanted before now. So, it tells you that for me, I believe they're not even sincere to themselves. And I leave you by saying, what not have the opportunity or the authority to change sometimes, it's better you don't try to effect it, because if they want to do a proper job,
and politicians are involved, will they get a headway?
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's look at some messages. Engineer Moses Armstrong says it is not just to identify him; they should also get him arrested. Also, that's on Facebook. Remember, we're live, Nigerian for PH. Emmanuel Silvanus Opuna Viobo says, "Good day, Kalada. Labeling the man Priye an armed robber is a deliberate attempt to deviate from the political undertone in it, or the main issue, which is Priye being a political thug who was employed by one of the parties to detonate that explosive." And you see, it's a cause for concern. If indeed Priye, as alleged, is an armed robber, it is indeed worrisome that he was found in the midst of a rally, seemingly a political rally. Okay. But let's look at it from this one, from this message. Emmanuel says, "I am more interested in the sponsor of such act. Let them identify the sponsor too." Ugo Akoma says, "The sponsors of that barbaric act should be made public." Ifeanyi Chukwu Ngozi Maxwell says, "When do they have any proof?" Very good question there. Evidence is very necessary if the matter should succeed in court, right? But let's look at WhatsApp. Melody Uniport said, "Police is flying a pregnant kite that is intended to give birth to a different narrative that has no link to the peculiarity of the bombing near the presidential hotel. The kernel point we need to know is what and who motivated the criminal to upgrade from common criminality to enlist and be part of political criminality on a special day when senators were visiting the same venue and when a state of emergency was being called by a group leading a protest. The police report is like the answer Adam gave to God when God asked, 'Adam, where are you?' Adam said, 'I am naked.'" Melody Uniport, thank you. And this one says, "The hypocrisy in this country sucks. You want to start with the investigation of explosion. What about the investigation that was done then at the River State Assembly? Say about 2 bombs. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, so who bombed the State Assembly? Has the man been invited by the police, or the guy is now a big man in this government? Those who go with equity must go with clean hands." Ernest from which? Ernest, if you know the person who bombed the River State House of Assembly, you should be writing to the police, and that's why we're having this conversation. We're not here to take sides. And I remember we talked about it. Of course, I did touch on the matter, and I asked who is the culprit. Why are we not having any headway as it relates, or is it leeway as it relates to the bombing of the Hallowed Chamber? This one says, "Are you being real when you said the police work for us? Guess you're joking. The police are not working for the people, but are working for the high and mighty. These are institutions in the world that..." He said, "There are institutions in the world that can be relied on, but not Nigeria. Thank you." Okay, anyways, the police works for you. I was being serious, actually. You pay them with your taxpayers' money. And that's what I meant. This one says, "To me, I suggest that the Nigeria police force should prioritize safety and protection of the state above any other thing. So let the police force invent a robust security architecture system which should primarily prevent and also detect crimes and also lay down punishment for offenders." I think we have all of that already, but moving on, you said, "For instance, just as products have their price tag in supermarkets, likewise, anyone who picks up any offense against the law should pay the price without sentiment and resentment." Ejima from Forks Road, Aba. Actually, we do have punishments for all of this. This one says, good day. "We should have a president and not a commander-in-chief of armed forces. The police should be independent and self-funded." Dagogo Bokoko. I don't think in any part of the world the police is independent and self-funded. But this one says, "The ongoing issue of dynamite explosion or explosions in parts of Rivers State is worrisome. Let the police be professional and thorough in their investigations, be unbiased to ensure that the culprits are prosecuted and made to pay for their dastardly acts, not leaving their sponsors. Elder Joel Adolphus with that one. And this one says, the police should investigate as it may be politically sponsored. Oiko Danaka with that argument there. And this one says, I don't trust any police investigation. And that's from Andy Ovira. Andy, thank you. And finally, this one says, Rivers police are lying. They want to hide. They want to what? I don't get this part. They want to hide the bombing and not. Okay, Maxit, I don't get your message. So you want to rewrite your message there. It's really confusing what you wrote. I'm going to go for another commercial break, and after that, it will be time for the news update. But when we do come back, we will take a look at the APC in Rivers State and how the politics they are playing is likely going to affect the local government elections in the state. To stay tuned.